Hello and welcome along to my little video log on engaging leadership. Today I'm going to be talking to you about, are you an engaging leader and the importance of searching for engaging leadership in our companies. And the bottom line to this is most business owners know that they must keep their employees engaged. Engaged employees is vital for productivity, for performance, for relationships in the workplace. It's also vital to create that culture that drives your business's productivity and profitability. So at all levels, the search for engaging leaders is on. People know that the most significant impact on employee engagement and therefore on all that productivity and profitability and performance, etc., is the direct line manager. It's that person who has the most impact on their team members. That's who the team members will interpret and perceive the organisation through. If their direct line manager doesn't value them, doesn't encourage them to bring their best to work every day, well, then they will perceive that that's the whole company that is not encouraging them to bring their best to work every day. The whole company then will be perceived as not valuing them as an individual. So while this search is on now for engaging leaders, that puts a bit of pressure onto existing managers and leaders. The concern for these people now are really, if you're a manager now, you've been a manager for a number of years, how do you stack up as an engaging leader? Do your skills meet that requirement? So in this little video log, what I'm going to do now is ask you 6 questions and give you some guidance on each towards what you should be looking for as an answer. And the best thing here is I can only tell you, and you can only be honest with yourself with your answers. Okay? So the first question: are you an emotionally intelligent leader? So the things you need to think about in here is, are you aware of your own emotions in the workplace when you're, especially in stressful and challenging situations, maybe where you're having a difficult conversation with a member of your team? Are you aware of your own emotions? Are you aware of your own reactions to certain stimuli? Are you turned in and tuned into the emotions of others? So do you realise how your employees are feeling, how they feel emotionally at a certain time? Do you realise what's driving that? Do you realise your own impact on how they feel? And the final question I'll ask you here really is, in relation to your emotional intelligence, is, are you consistent in your behaviours and actions? And that means that you would realise, an emotionally intelligent leader will realise, the impact they have on others, but also they realise their team members need to be able to predict their behaviour. Team members are more comfortable when they know how their line manager will react to a certain situation. Then they can develop strategies to deal with that and be more comfortable and freer in the workplace to do their best. Okay, so that's emotional intelligence. The second main question is, how well do you know the individuals in your team? When I deliver training to leaders and I ask this question, and I think this is fundamental for any successful leader, anybody who wants to engage their team. And quite often you get, I do know my team members. Like, for example, there's Jimmy and his wife is and his children are, and then there's Mary and her husband and her children are, and so on. And they try to prove, because they know a few names, they support the sports team, they watch this TV show. That's superficial information. Even the names of their children and their pets is superficial. What you want to know when I ask you that question is what makes each person tick, what motivates them, what are their passions in the workplace, what do they see as success outside the workplace, what projects and community activities are they engaged in, what makes them join up to those things for free, what motivates them. Okay, so again, when you know all that, then you might know how to replicate that motivation and passion in the workplace. You might have an insight to this person, what they're looking for. The names of their children, the names of their dogs, the names of their favourite sports teams, that's nice to know, but it doesn't give you real insight to the person. It doesn't help you and the person connect fully. Okay? The third question, and again, I think this is a big one. Do you give trust and respect out to your team? Do you believe that trust and respect starts with you as the line manager? That's a big question. Very often on training courses, you'll get people who say, "No, Nigel, trust and respect must be earned." That's a movable goalpost, my friends. That is one where if you say it has to be earned, well, where's the line over what I have to go in order to earn that trust? You also set yourself up for judgment. Do people want your trust then? They start to judge. Usually your team members will say, well, is your trust and respect of a value that I should work hard to get it? So it creates a distrustful atmosphere. What an engaging leader will do is give that trust and give that respect to start with. And they will work from that point of view. You can only value it when you feel it. And they realise that. That's their emotional intelligence coming through. You can only value the trust and respect when you know what it feels like to have it. Yes, you can lose it, but it shouldn't be put up as a target to win. It should be given, shown the value, and then allow people to work to keep it. Okay? Fourth question, do you value and maximise diversity in your team? So what do you do to value diversity? What do you do to bring out the different strengths and abilities of each individual and allow them to bring that strength and ability to the table for your team every day, and allow them to feel that they're doing something that they are really good at and that they can enjoy and that they can call, this is my skill. So there's an identity there, there's an ownership there. That's a very powerful motivating factor. Unfortunately, I recall an example in a team where I carried out a psychometric, the 40 communication styles profile, and we charted the whole team's communication strengths. We showed where the outliers were and where there were key people in decision making and key people in collaboration, key people in detailed consciousness and all the rest. And one man says, well, what we have to do now is force all those outliers into the middle line so they're the same as the rest of us. She wasn't an engaging leader. She didn't recognise her value. She's afraid of diversity. She's afraid of people having different skills. What you need is people to bring those skills that they have, maximise those skills and bring them to your team. An engaging leader knows that diversity makes the team stronger, nothing else. Okay, it doesn't weaken it, it makes it stronger as a unit and as a proposition within the organisation. So fifth question, how well do you receive feedback and how well do you react when your team members challenge how things are done? And that's a big thing for managers to do. Do you empower your team members to give you feedback? Do you empower them to challenge how things are done, to create a better way? An engaged leader will, because they know that empowerment brings strength, they know that empowerment brings innovation and creativity and improvement. So we're looking for that answer from there. And finally, our sixth question is, do you genuinely care for each team member? Do you care for their well-being? Do you care for their resilience in the workplace? Do you hope that they do well in everything that they do? And how do you show that? How do you demonstrate that? An engaged leader will be quite clear about that he or she wants you to do well. He or she wants you to be well at work, to look after your own well-being, to look after your work-life balance. Are you doing things to help your team achieve those? Okay, so those are the 6 key questions. I think those are 6 big questions for any leader. And ask them to yourself, have a think through as you listen to this video, and always be glad to hear from you. So drop us a line and come on to the website, and thank you very much. All the best.